We're going to look at advanced factoring in lesson 105. So in the past, we've had basically nothing, no coefficient for x squared. Well, now we're going to add something there. So there's three steps we're going to look at in order to factor something like 6x squared plus x equals, minus 2. The first step is multiply the coefficient of the first term by the last term. All right, what does that mean? Well, my first term is 6. My last term is negative 2. So step 1 says to multiply those two. So that equals negative 12. Now step 2 says find two factors of step 1's product. So here's step 1's product, negative 12. And we want to find two factors whose sum is the coefficient of the middle term. So what are two factors of negative 12? Well, we would have negative 12 times a positive 1. But negative 12 plus 1, that would equal a negative 11. So that wouldn't work. Well, what if we change the signs? Well, that would equal a positive 11. So those two factors don't work because their sum is 11, and we want it to be a positive 1. What's another factor? All right, well, 6 and negative 2. Do those add up to be 1? Nope, those add up to be 4. So that doesn't work, that doesn't work. Last option here. It's 4 and negative 3. Those equal negative 12, but add up to be a positive 1, which would be what we need. So after this, step 3, I just generalized this factor, but here's what that means. We now can break up this x into a 4x and negative 3x. So it would look something like this: 6x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 2. So I just plugged in that, and notice if I added those together as like terms, it would be a positive x. How we factor from here is I'm going to break up 6x squared, and I'm going to break up negative 3x minus 2. And I'm going to see, so I kind of cut it in half, and I'm going to see what can factor out of both of those. All right, well, with the, making sure you can see it there. All right, I can factor from the 6x squared and 4x, I can factor a 2, and I can factor an x. What does that leave me with? That leaves me with 6 divided by 2 would be 3, x squared divided by x would be x. 4 divided by 2, or negative 4 divided by 2 would be positive 2, and there would be no x left. So this is 2x times 3x minus 2 after I factored there. Now I'm going to factor out here. Well, we don't want this, we don't like the negative in front of the negative 3x, so I'm going to factor out a negative 1. I'm left with a positive 3x and a positive 2. Hold on, let me make sure I did this. Let me make sure. I think I did one thing wrong. Did I write the problem down wrong? I might have. Yada yada. Oh. I don't know why I wrote this as a positive, as a negative. That was a positive. X. Okay. My bad. This is a positive. I just wrote this part down wrong. I wrote that as a negative for whatever reason. So you're probably telling me through the screen not to do that, but anyways. All right, so that's what we're left with. So we have a 2x times 3x plus 2 and a negative 1 times 3x plus 2. What do you notice? These two are the same. So if they're the same, if they have the same identity, we can just take one thing out. They just combine to feed into one, in a sense. And then I take the other two numbers, and I write as 2x minus 1 for those. So my factorization of 6x squared plus x minus 2 would be 2x minus 1 times 3x plus 2. If I FOILed, notice that'd be 6x squared. That'd be a 4x inside minus 3x minus 2, right back where we were there. So that is how you do advanced factoring.